Hello, everyone. Good
Hello.
evening, and welcome once again to the Diamond Lady Show. First and foremost, I would like to apologize for coming on late. There was a bit of technical issues, and we are still trying to resolve it with the Reverend. And as you may already know, I am Diamond Lady, and tonight's show I have with me two awesome people. We've got Mami Boatma Hali, and then we've got our own Reverend, who is in the name of Eugene Ajiman. Before we go ahead with it, I will kindly request that if you're watching us tonight, please create a watch party on Facebook, or if you are not on Facebook, you can request someone to watch us on Instagram or YouTube. You just have to search for Diamond Lady TV, and it will be a success, hopefully. So
Hopefully.
tonight's topic is a hot topic, and it's all about social media, the impact on the family, and on society, and in general, whatever the impact is on us all. Before I go ahead and introduce this topic again, I would like to introduce our guest today, who is Mami Boatima Hali. So, could you please introduce yourself and tell us all about you tonight, then?
Hi everyone. It's so lovely to meet you once again. My name is Mrs. Mami Mahali. I live in the UK. I work with the NHS, and I have two beautiful kids. I think that's about it. And I'm looking forward to having a lovely discussion about the impacts of social media in our lives as individuals. Thank you for having me, Diamond Lady.
Thank you for coming in today. When you said you were looking forward to having, we thought you were going to say you were looking forward to having twins nest, So I was waiting for that bit to drop. Okay, I'm going to try and bring the Reverend on, and let's see. I know his network is
Mrs.
just doing a bit of issues, and yes, definitely that the Reverend, we having a bit of issues with the from the Reverend side. So I will drop him off for now, and when his network is okay, we will get him back on with us. Just want to say hello to everybody who is watching us again. Today, our support group is Saint Maya Dryline Limited. They support us each and every day. Then we've got Mami Puatima's own business and her own page, which we will definitely be talking about it soon. It's all to do with Simply Mami, and she would definitely tell us about it. And I'm sure you might have some interest in what she does because it's all about the side hustle, isn't it? She
Yes, it
loves
is.
this, and then she loves the job that she does. So
Yeah.
she'll definitely tell us about it. Then we've got Family Affair GH. So if you're looking to buy something in Ghana, and if you're looking to buy here in England, we do personal shopping and we sell a whole lot. So find us on Facebook or Instagram, which is Family Affair GH. Then we've got Sister Foundation, where we are an NGO and we are supporting a lot of people in England and in Ghana. So you can just come and DM us if you are able to assist with people in our community, especially back in Ghana. I will leave the rest of the other supporting companies and then come back to them later. So, Mommy, I know there is a whole lot of discussion about social media and its impact on us, especially when it comes to those who have families, and families as in mom and dad, and then there are children as well, and then there is the society as a whole, and the impact on relationship or marriage. So social media has its own pros and cons. So definitely there is advantages and disadvantages. disadvantages. Whenever there is an advantage, there is always a disadvantage
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, yeah.
And in recent days, it looks like the disadvantage is just taking hold of everything. It's just rising on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
So I would like to throw this to you. That will be our first question. So social media and its impact on the family, since you are a family lady, how does social media impact your family? You could talk about the positive side and then the negative side.
Well, I think first and foremost, we need to expatiate the meaning of social media in general. What is it for, and what is it was it meant to be doing in our lives? I for one, I feel that social media was meant for us to be able to keep in touch with our friends and family. I know some people use social media applications for network career opportunities. Some people use social media to build their brands. There's so much social media can do, and social media is meant to do. We know that from time immemorial with our parents. My mom, for instance, I'm sure has never seen her mates from primary school and in JSS secondary school since she completed school, because at that time there was no means of, linking up. But in our time, you and I finished secondary school over 20 years ago, and over 20 years ago, we still have contact with our mates from school. Through social media, Diamond Lady, after so many years, we were able to link up. Through social media, I'm able to link up with Reverend and a whole lot of people. I'm able to build my brand. I'm able to market my businesses to people. So those are the pros of social media in my from my perspective. On the other hand, because of social media, you might tend to spend so much time on your phone, on your tablet, and you might not have time to build your marriage, your relationship with your children, if care is not taken, because you're using social media to build your brand and your businesses, and you have a whole host of people linking up on social media. Your interest might move from just your family, from the most important things, and it might channel towards these things. And in so doing, people lose their children through that. People have lost their marriages through that. So it's just finding the balance between the pros and cons, and utilizing it well, or else everything in your life will fall apart. From my perspective.
Okay. Welcome, Rev. Welcome, Rev. We are so pleased to
Hello,
have you
hello,
here
hello.
tonight.
Hello.
The network issue hopefully has
Yeah,
been resolved now. Hi, everybody. Let's welcome the Reverend
yeah.
again, and we are going to let him introduce himself to us then.
Okay. I am Reverend Eugene Osayajiman of the Methodist Church Ghana. What do I say again? Gift is my friend, and
You're
you're also my
married.
friend.
You're married.
You're married with children and all that. Well, we are so pleased.
Oh yes,
Through
yes.
all that struggles, you've been able to still join us as well. So,
Yeah.
as you already know, the topic is all about social media, the impact on the family, marriage, relationship, and society. So, Mame
Mhm.
Boatma has she's done her own bit, because the first question was all about what impact is it on the family. Since you are a
Yeah.
married man as well, and definitely a family man, and also you live in the society, that same question is going to go for you. What do you think is the main impact of social media
Okay.
on us? because there's a positive and the negative side of things, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. First and foremost, good evening to everyone listening to us. And sorry, I had some technical hitches, so I was trying to get on board. Thank God I'm on board now. Social media and its effects on the family and relationship. It has its pros and cons, the positives and the negatives. Okay. For example, um, you, for instance, I hadn't seen you since we finished the lessons or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to link up with you through WhatsApp and now on Facebook, and now we are talking, discussion. I think it is enhancing our relationship. It's a long time we saw ourselves physically, but now I can see you face to face. And it has brought us together since 1997, and we are all together now as a family. Okay, and for my family, my brothers, we have our own Facebook, WhatsApp platform where we discuss matters affecting our family and how we can improve on things. It is helping in that way, and and many other things. You could see that social media is some way somehow has become a stress reliever for other people when you feel bored. Especially, my wife will just be watching one of these episodes or
The network seems to be freezing
YouTube, and
again.
he'll just bring it to me, just laugh, just for us to laugh at. Maybe for a whole day, we might not be having a discussion or something. Yeah. So when she does that, it brings out a conversation. Then we talk. I
Yes.
think it enhances that part, that aspect of it. Yeah. But on the other hand, sometimes you are too stuck to your social media or your phone to the extent that you are unable to communicate with the person next to you.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody said social media is making us unsocial because
Yes.
since we are trying to socialize with others who are very distant to us and neglecting those who are closer. I think somewhere in the Proverbs, the writer says, a neighbor close by is better than
Neighbor further away, isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks like Reverend Barrow's network is still playing up just a little bit, but we are
the
still going
internet.
to continue. Okay, yeah?
Yeah. Please do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yeah,
you
I
now.
hear you.
Okay. But some way, somehow, those close to us are being distant, and those far away are the ones we are focusing on. Because
Yeah.
it's like I put something and I want to know what the opinion of somebody far away from me. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the opinion of the people who are around us and close to us wouldn't matter because we are
Mm-hmm.
addicted to social media to the extent that we are so much interested in the views of people far away from us than the views of people who are close to us. So in a
Yes.
way, as much as it has an advantage of us coming together, relieving stress, giving us information and whatnot, it is also being abused because social media in itself is a very good thing, but we are the problem because we can be on our phones, and before you realize you spent about 3 hours on your phone just going back and forth
Mhm.
from Instagram to Facebook, from WhatsApp to TikTok, from Snapchat. And sometimes you even feel depressed and tired. So I think social media, as a matter of fact, is helping one way or the other, but our abuse of it is causing relationships, it's causing marriages, it's causing families. And I think that would be my introductory comment for now.
Oh, thank you. Well, you've hit a lot of points that I personally think is happening in my own life because I've almost got almost all the apps that are popular, like Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Snapchat, and all that, and
Yeah.
TikTok. You find
Mm-hmm.
yourself switching between each other. I switch from here
Mm-hmm.
to that, there, that, and I'm thinking, what am I doing? And sometimes I find myself telling my own self, I've got to stop now. And then I say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, last one. Wait the last one, pay. Wait there. Then I see myself going over the whole thing all over again. And as you're saying, it seems like we are abusing social media. Social media is a good thing, but then we are somehow abusing it in our own way. Before I go ahead and ask the next question, I'll just read a few comments. So we've got Jo Mens, and she says she's watching with us. And we've got Ama Amwakwa. She says, hello, sis. Then Lois says, hi, sis, Mami Boatma Hali. Then you, Mami Boatma, is saying hello to everyone. Then we've got Ama Amwakwa, Tita here. Yes. Hi, Tita. Very good discussion. A culprit. Yes, she says she's a culprit, just like me. We are lots of us who have been arrested by social media somehow. It's put the handcuff over our hands and we can't take it off. We need help, honestly, we do. So my next question, which Reverend, you said we are abusing the network so badly. Do you think there is a way to stop us from abusing social media at all? Reverend,
Okay.
please.
Thank you for the question. In the first place, we must accept that we are addicted to it
Yes.
because what make us abuse this media or these apps is the fact that we are addicted. And for instance, you put your phone down and the first thing in the morning is you visit your phone. You just
Yeah.
check your
Instead
phone,
of
and that
praying.
is a subconscious thing. You are not even aware, but the moment you wake up, the first thing that subconsciously comes into your mind is your phone. And I
Yes.
remember someone telling me that me new phone I can be the same as I am. And yeah, some time ago this person was not using the phone, but for some time now, when new phone he cannot be the same person that he is.
Oh my
So you
word.
see, if we accept the fact that we are addicted to it and make a conscious effort, a
Yes.
deliberate of effort to alter the fact that our indulgence in social media is affecting us. We should we should make a retrospective view of how it has affected us, and until we put in place our relationship and weigh it, how it is faring,
Mm-hmm.
we will never know that we have a problem
Yeah.
with the abuse of social media. And sometimes, since we are not aware of how we are abusing it, our partner or a husband or wife might complain of how we are not being attentive to them, and we will
Yeah.
flout them or we will be shouting at them, thinking that, oh, am I not giving you this? Am I not giving you that? Didn't I buy this for you? When you requested this, didn't I give it to you? Uh, and you needed sex, I gave it to you, and what else? So we
It's
will
like giving
limit.
the person that
Uh,
thing to get them off your neck so you can do your social media stuff, isn't it?
yes, because you think that those things are your basic responsibility, and so long as you have fulfilled those responsibilities, you don't feel obliged to kind of give any attention to your partner or anyone else. So that thing
Yeah.
is what we should begin to think about. Because how were you when you first met your husband or your wife or your girlfriend or something? You gave her all the attention because you were in love.
Yes.
But today, like when you gave birth to your first son or daughter, You gave her all your attention because you had found a new love. Now, you don't give them that attention again. Why? Because you are now loving the virtual world than the
Mm-hmm.
real world. Okay.
Which is very
And
sad.
yeah, like a minister, I think it is one of the major weapons that the devil
The
is
devil.
using to break up families and relationships. Because when you are stuck to your phone, you might talk to your wife for like 5 minutes a day in a day. Effective communication. It might not
Yeah.
be even more than 5 minutes, but you see yourself communicating very well on Facebook and making comments, arguing here and there on
Mm-hmm.
WhatsApp, Twitter, and so on and so forth. But in reality, the real family you have might
Mm-hmm.
be ignoring. So
Yeah.
I think we must first know that our addiction or our overindulgence in social media is a problem. If we understand that this is a problem and we are ready to mitigate that problem, then that'll be the first step of trying to resolve the problem. But if we don't accept it and feel that, oh, I'm a businessman and I do my business through WhatsApp and so on and so forth. As a matter of fact, if you're a businessman and you do your business through the internet, just weigh the number of the amount of time you use in engaging the profitable things and the
Yeah.
one you use leisurely on the phone. But because you're using the excuse that I'm a businessman and I use the phone to do business, so you've covered yourself with that excuse and are spending a lot of time uselessly on the phone in the name of I am a businessman. But you're not always conducting business on the phone. That is a fact.
Yeah.
You are
Yes.
swinging in between.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there should be a balance. The Bible says false balance is an abomination. And what the
Okay.
devil is doing that he is giving us a false balance now. So we are relegating the real family on the background and we are uplifting the virtual family, which sometimes you might cry out for help and you might not get it. So first know that we have a problem and this is the problem. We want to address it. By that, you'll be able to make a move in addressing it. If not, then you keep wallowing in excuses and maybe ignorance and thinking that we are doing all that maybe Gifty is asking of me. I'm doing everything for you. Why are you still
Mm-hmm.
complaining that I am not doing anything for you? Eh? I pay the bills, I pay the TV, whatever. So what is the problem now? So I think that we must locate that and then we can do something about it.
Oh, all
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much. Mommy, do you have anything to support what Reverend said at all?
I think Reverend has really said a lot, and I really support him. It's very, very true. The first point of we seeking help or finding help is accepting that we do have a problem of abusing social media. And I think majority of the people has to come to that point of realization that yes, we have a problem. We are ignoring the fact that we are ignoring our relationships around us, our husbands, our wives, our children, and we are, linking up with people who are sometimes loads and loads of miles away from us. It's not wrong. It's just finding the balance. It's not
Mm-hmm.
wrong linking up with your mates, your friends from old. It's just finding, as I said earlier, it's just finding the balance between that. And that's the only way we can address it. I think I really support what Reverend said. Thank you, Reverend.
All right. So, well, as you have both started us on the point that we need to admit that we are addicted to these social media platforms and all that, and wanting to check every second, every minute, and all that. Let's say if I'm that person who has just recently admitted that, yes, I am addicted to social media. what should be the next point? Should I be allocating some time to that and say, oh, maybe now I want to be on social media for just an hour, or within the day I have split my time into maybe 3 times. I want to be there morning for this amount of time, afternoon for this amount of time, and evening for this amount of time. What should be the best way? Is there any need for us to allocate any time to the social media at all?
Yes, of
And
course. I think it just calls for discipline. You know, when we're in secondary school, I'm sure most of us were in boarding school. We had allocated time. We go for breakfast in the morning by 5:30 or 6. You are awake, you have a shower, you go and have breakfast, you come back to your classroom, you have a class, then you go for your lunch time, then there's siesta, then after siesta, you go for is it help me with the word when we prep time, then we go
prep
for
time,
prep,
yes.
such a
Yeah.
long time, then you go for
Yes.
prep time. I think we should go back to the basics. For me,
Okay.
when I close from work, I try not to bring work home, and it's
Okay.
my way of disciplining myself not to
Mhm.
bring any paperwork. When you open my car, I've got files on my passenger seat. I don't bring it home. The worst I can do is to go over it early in the morning when I'm about to drive, just to have an idea of what my day is like. So
Yeah.
it just needs for us to have that kind of discipline. We need to go back to the basics. Go back. In the morning, we do know that if you're a Christian, the first thing you do is you pick up your Bible or you say a prayer, you pick your Bible. But unfortunately, now even our Bibles are on our phones, you know. So
Yes.
whilst you are reading your Bible, Facebook, somebody will comment on something and it pop up, and then
Yes.
you are tempted to go back into it. We
Mhm.
need that discipline. You know, if we are disciplining our children, then we as adults should be able to discipline ourselves. It just calls for discipline. No one can tell you go on social media from 12 to 3 or from 6 to 8. No, you have to allocate time and balance your life in such a way that others around you, your partners, your spouses, do not feel left out. It's difficult, trust me. Sometimes by the time you realize you've been on Facebook, on social media, Facebook, Instagram, 5 hours, and these are 5 hours that has gone. You are never
Wasted
going to waste
somehow.
it. You can never get it back. If you're not getting money, if you're not getting paid for the hours you're on there, it's time wasted that we can never get
Yeah.
back. And for me, from the beginning of, I think, mid last year, I came to that realization that I was spending too much time on Facebook. I mean, I felt awful when I'm not able to approve posts and disapprove posts, because I was an admin on one of the platforms. I felt very guilty. But my work, my children, my time, I didn't have enough time. So I had to come out of it. I had to tell the leader of the group that, you know what, I think it's time for me to buy out. And that is where we need to get to as adults. You assess your life, you sit down and you assess your life, and you realize that there are more important things to your
Mhm.
life than just social media. And until you get to that point, you will abuse it. You will abuse social media. You need to get to that point. That's what I think I'll say to that.
All right. Before you add something to it, Reverend, let me just read a few comments here. So we've got God, our full PMP, our own God, who is saying, great, he's enjoying the show. Then we've got Juliet also saying, nice topic. And Ama Moakoa is saying COVID has worsened issues because everything is now done on a virtual world. Yes, I agree to that. Then we've got Juliet also saying, yes, COVID has worsened it, but time must be set. She also agreed that time must be set. Then she also says, we need to engage more as individuals than spend more time on social media. I agree with Mame. Discipline is the key. So, Rev, from your own point of view as a reverend, what do you also suggest? Should we be allocating some time so we spend more time with our physical family?
Okay.
than spending too much time with our virtual family.
I would want to I would want to start from where Mami was talking about people having their Bibles on their phones. Anyway, what's up to God Afro? He's our best friend, you know.
Yes.
You have your Bible on your phone, and you don't have a hard copy of the Bible, and you would argue that, oh, why do I have to buy a Bible when I can get it on the phone? I remember a time when I was in charge of the youth group in a church, and I heard a story of another church where a child or one of the youth members was fixed on his phone. So he even forgot that he was in the church.
Yes.
So as the teacher was walking through the lines, he saw this guy watching pornography in the church.
My goodness.
And yes, it shouldn't be, you shouldn't say Jesus. I don't think he intended to watch it. I don't
Yes.
think he intended to watch it. Because I remember some time ago, I was just browsing or something, and I had a notification, and this some naked girl was popped up, and right there and then I switched. Okay,
You have to pray.
those things are temptations. Okay, so if you don't discipline yourself, you find yourself watching the site, and you'll be advancing to deeper sites. So this guy was watching it, and he had forgotten that he was in the church. So I am a conservative when it comes to reading the Bible or using Bibles in the church. I don't go for the digital one. I want the hard copy of the Bible. As my mom was saying, time might be allocated, and let's say in the morning you wake up, you check the messages you've got, and the needed replies you give them. One thing is, most of us might always be on the internet, but we didn't be commenting anything. We just be going through people's messages and what they posted on WhatsApp and everything. Because I can see as me for a month, I might not even comment on any social media platform, but I'll just go there and watching from here. I jump here because I want something new. I want to hear something else. And I don't get it. So I'll be fishing for those information before I realize I've spent about 2 hours or 3 hours on the phone, and my battery will be running down. So you've spent all this time and you got nothing from it. So I have to decide that anytime I'll come to social media, there should be an impact.
Yeah.
I must impact on some people's life. So my message should be impactful. Whatever I am adding to my site or my Facebook page or anything must kind of impact somebody's life. So if I have that impacting mentality, it puts some currency on my life and on my Facebook site. Because the people are responding positively to what I am posting, and I'm not also overindulged. Because anytime you post something, then you put a responsibility on yourself in trying to monitor any comment that comes with your posting, and that is a very hectic thing for us to do. So we must discipline ourselves. We must be conscious of our time.
Yes.
And that is the only means we can discipline ourselves. If I take the phone and I go to social media, what am I going to do? After some minutes, the phone must be somewhere. I must begin to talk. I had a couple like this woman, this man was complaining about his wife. There were a bit of fights, and you couldn't figure out where the fight was coming from. But the man knew where the fight was coming from. And anytime he told the woman that this is what you are doing that I don't like, and the woman will be like, oh, now so again, me should be a messy. And the man was grieved. Because anytime he wants to have sex with his wife, the wife will be on one of the social media apps trying
Yes.
to watch something, and instead of the wife giving him the attention, he said
Mhm.
there was a time that in the course of the game, the wife took the phone and was looking at something on the phone. So he
Oh, this
felt
one, the man has to
discouraged.
check himself. Reverend, this one, the man
Eh,
has to check himself.
no, but you
Nothing
see,
is going
apart from that,
how will you
you
pick up your
you
phone?
you 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 are supposed to. I think you should understand addiction.
I
You should
do, I
understand
do.
Yes.
addiction because
Yes.
the lady's mind is not on what the husband
That's very
is up to.
sad. Oh. Hey,
Okay, so um the lady is so much addicted to her phone that even in the course of it, so how can you give attention to your husband and respond equally to what he's trying to do? So
Yes.
in the course of time, if you keep on with this habit, the husband might have no option if he's not a very God-fearing
that's
person.
a man. Mm, mm.
He might
Mhm.
have no option than to opt for another person who will give him the attention needed. So if we are able to discipline ourselves and find time for social media, we should find time for it so that we
Yes.
will know when to opt out of it. But the
Mhm.
moment you bang into it anyhow, you wouldn't know how to apportion your time, when to leave the site. And one thing I've learned is that you always live very depressed
Mhm.
because especially when you are expecting something and you are not finding it on social media, you live depressed as if
Yeah.
you are looking for some happiness on the site, but you've
Yeah.
been looking all and you are not getting the content you're looking for. So you end up being depressed and as if like and that might affect your family or relation around you. Because so long as you get depressed, your responses to other people around you are not going to be lovely, are not going to be fair. So I think when Gifty talks about discipline, is very important. But this discipline has to do with um, trying to manage our addiction, or sometimes some of the sites, the
Mhm.
apps must be deleted. I intentionally would not install Snapchat because I know it will waste my time.
Okay.
When I deliberately sought not to watch any soap opera
Mhm.
because of the suspense it gave me. I also wanted to watch what is next. But
Yes.
I found myself wasting the time I was trying to prevent wasting on social media, wasting that
Mhm.
time on social media, wasting on soap opera, wasting that time on
Mhm.
social media. So it is always a time wasting venture when we are faced to things that do not profit us much. And social
Yeah.
media is one good thing that we are abusing and we have to do something about it. Or else marriages, um, families will be broken. Some mothers don't know their children very well because they are always on
Mhm.
the phone.
Yes.
And when one child complains of the other, instead of giving it a critical thought, since
Mhm.
she's on the phone or he's on the phone,
Unyada
oh,
chukwa.
and he wouldn't even go and look at the damages that are done until
Yeah.
when she's maybe depressed or put her phone or his phone somewhere, goes to
Mm.
Mhm.
visit the damage and see, oh, the damage is too much to bear,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
it has already been done. So
Mhm.
it also prevents us from monitoring our children in the house.
Mm.
I have a baby girl who is just 4 months, and anytime I pick my phone when she's on me, she begins to cry. So I said, "Hey, this girl doesn't want me to."
You see, you know
because
my
uh,
children. You still a
Yes.
start crying. My
Oh
eye
yes.
mm,
set your life.
Really, yeah, because they don't get your attention.
Of course, of
Mm.
course.
And you know
Oh
what? When I'm
well.
Ghana, I'll buy, I'll buy, I'll buy data from maybe Vodafone or somewhere, and they'll give me, because I'm not using the router, so they'll give me a
Yes.
date to finish exhausting those data.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, you have to do everything to exhaust it. So that will also make you stay. I think you came to Ghana and you saw how expensive data is.
Yes,
So
yes,
if
yes.
you've bought data and the telco has given you maybe 5 days to use it, and
Mm-hmm.
on the fourth day you still have a lot of
Yes,
data
you
on
would
your phone.
definitely want to find me some ways to waste all
Yes.
that off.
So I think Ghana is also having a problem of encouraging people's addiction on social media. So
Oh
maybe
dear.
we can fix it if you want to. Mhm.
Yes, maybe. Oh my word. This conversation is getting interesting by minute, by second. If you are watching us, thank you once again for watching us today. And the topic is all about social media, its impact on the family, on society, on marriage and relationship. You know, you both were talking about the fact that, oh, people are looking at their Bibles on the phone and all that. Well, I will count myself as one of those people. The only reason is when I wake up in the morning, I think I'm as blind as a bat. Even when I put my glasses on to try and read the Bible, it doesn't work for me. So the only solution is go on my phone, and with the phone, you've got the chance to zoom in and zoom out. Well, that is my own excuse. It is not
Yeah.
to want to go and use social media, but for some reason, it's like, I don't know, childhood, they used to say to you, wash your face before someone else sees you because there could be something on your eye and all that. I will wash my face and so come and try and read the Bible, and it will not work for me. So,
Mhm.
well, to me, having my phone and then my Bible on the phone is of a disadvantage to me because of the zooming issues back and forth. Well, you did mention about children and then their parents not even knowing what they are doing on iPads or tablets or phones and all that. I know certain families probably don't know they could set should I say boundaries for these children as to where to go and where not to go and all that. Do you both by any chance have a rough idea that that can be done at all?
Yes.
Mami Fatima,
Um,
yeah.
okay. So shout out to my Telemoms UK platform where I have come to learn so much about
Okay.
how to put um, restrictions on tablets and stuff. But well, for me, my kids are still very young. Like
Mm-hmm.
this evening, around after lunch, I told them Sundays is resting time. So after
Mm-hmm.
lunch, everybody should go and rest. I put all of them in their room because that's the only time I can also rest and prepare
Mm-hmm.
for Monday. And then we all went to bed. And then when they woke up, the TV was off. So my son came and said, Mommy, can I turn on the TV? I said, No, no,
Mm-hmm.
you've got all the toys there. You can
Mm-hmm.
play with the toys. So for me, that is how I deal with my kids. They haven't gotten to that stage where they are into social media and all that. The most they will do is watch cartoons and you know
YouTube and all that.
and
Yes.
even on YouTube they have the kids one, so they have to watch the kids one. On Netflix they have their kids one, but we've put timers on it for them. So if
Okay.
you come from school, it doesn't when you put it on, it won't come on. There are restrictions on it. It won't.
Wow, that's good.
Yes. And I think these are some of the things we learn on social media. You know, I didn't know about it. My parents are, bless them, they are old. They During our time, we didn't have TV and laptops and iPads and all these things. We didn't even have screen time. You'll be
Yes.
very lucky to watch the news on a weekday.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be very,
Mm-hmm.
very lucky. But now, so through social media, I have come to learn that there's some restrictions I can put on the TV, on their iPads and stuff like that, so that even if they try to put it on, it won't put it on. And my sister-in-law also has one something on. She has a teenage boy, and whatever the boy does on his phone, his mom gets the same thing. So if his son texts anyone on his phone, his mom will receive a copy of the text messages on her phone.
Vigilante.
Vigilante. So all these things I didn't know, but I learned it on social media. And these are some of the pros of being on social media. We need to learn and pick up the good things that will help us, you know, and leave the ones that will not help us. But as I always say, it comes with maturity. You need to get to that stage of maturity. That's why I said, if you are not matured, you don't get married. If you are not matured, you don't have kids, because kids don't have kids.
Yes.
You understand? Kids don't have kids. And if kids continue to have kids, that is the society. I mean, look at what the UK is, where the UK is going. The world is going, where we are heading towards, is because kids are having kids. My parents were matured before they had me. So my mom and my dad had iron rod, you know, and I thank God for them, because if they hadn't been the way they were, I don't think I would have been where I am. You understand? The world is changing. So we have to set the boundaries, as Reverend also added, discipline, maturity. We need to learn. For me, for instance, a few days ago, I was talking to one of my good friends in Canada, Nadudua, and I said, you know what, I want to learn more about communication. And then she said, you know, you can actually go on YouTube and learn all these things. And I said, yes, I have actually been learning food recipes and stuff on YouTube, because seriously, we are all used to the way our moms cooked, isn't it? And through social media, we are learning different ways of cooking, to cooking that will reduce our time in the kitchen, so that we can spend more time with our family, with our books if we are studying. So social media is good. It's good. The idea before they set it up was good, but it's we humans that are abusing it. And it takes discipline, it takes maturity to differentiate between the good and the bad of social media. So there are loads of information on social media for to help us restrict our children on what we see on social media. But it just needs you, the parents, to go on there and learn and know how to use it, because it's very technical. I'm not very technical. So I go on there and I learn it. It just needs that. I think there's lots of information for parents to restrict our children. Yes.
All right. Before you go ahead with before Reverend asks his own bits, let me just read a few here. So we got a message from Nyamekwa. If I'm pronouncing it right, I hope so. He says, nice program. And then Ama Amwakwa says, hey. Then Ernestine says Asamo, and I think it's all about all those bad or negative bits about social media. Then Yarash, our own Yarash, says, greetings, mates. Very educative. Big ups, guys. Then thank you, Yarash. Then Ama Mwakwa says, I think the match was boring, but then again, that's very bad. Then Mami Kianipa says, nice one. Wow, wow, wow. Reverend, do you have anything to add to what Mami said? Or yeah?
Okay, as Mami said, my children haven't also reached the stage of using social media, but I have covered my policy even before they reach, if nothing changes, that I might not give them smartphones or something until a certain stage. Even though if you don't give them, children will find their way of getting it.
Of course.
You know, my little sister, when she was in JSS, our last phone, nobody bought her any smartphone. But she comes home and my mom goes into her bags, finds smartphones, sometimes money, and nobody is giving those monies to her at home. But sometimes she'll be having like 3 smartphones in her bag. So I I had to find time to go to her school and talk to her headmaster about what is going on. I think there was a clique in the school. Like when we were in JSS, we have our own group of kind of bad boys.
Yes.
And this
Yes.
was a clique she had fallen into. So they give her all this stuff. But with consistent follow-ups, she kind of gave up eventually and stopped. And one thing I did was I wasn't so hard on her, but I took time and spoke to her.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just get her when she's alone. I go to her and I talk to her that this is not going to help you. You must stop. The time I learned she had gone out from those things and she was able to go to school and get good grades for the university.
That's good. Yes.
Child upbringing is it's a deliberate venture. You can't just bring out a child and think, oh, she has a right, so I wouldn't intrude. No, you must go to your child's bedroom. If she or he is using a phone under your care, before she or he attains the age of 18, which we call universal adult suffrage, you must find time with her, intrude her life. Because, if you don't find a nice way intruding her life or his life, he's going to become a liability to you in the long run.
Yeah.
And you might not be able to fix it. Because if you are a parent you are busy on social media, you don't visit them in their bedrooms, okay? So they know that mommy or daddy wouldn't come here for no other reason.
Yes.
So you don't have access to his phone or her phone. She's having a password on his phone or her phone. You are not friends to him or her, but you are friends to your phone as a parent. So if we continue like this, our children may be developing a very bad attitude that we are not in the know.
I'm not aware of. Yeah.
For instance, I was called Baro in JSS, okay?
Yes.
That's popular, immaculate, and so on. And my dad didn't know that I was that bad boy who would have friends go to plaza and so on with friends moving around in the evening because he would travel, okay? And this time, without him traveling, we've grown and it is our time. And ours is that we are so stuck with social media that we haven't traveled yet. We have traveled.
Yes.
Because we are not with our children. You don't find any interesting venture to make your children embark on.
Yes.
Because as a parent, you must try to engage your children, take them out, let them feel you. Because if you come home and they don't feel like coming around you, it's a big question that you must be asking yourself: why they're not coming around me?
Yes.
The relationship is not there. You are busy on social media. You are busy making money elsewhere, and some of the men are busy with their side chicks. They will hold their phone and all they'll be watching is their side chicks and videos of their side chicks. Okay.
Yes.
So we are losing our family through social media. We are not being friends with them. But I think our generation we can make up to that. We can make up to that. You must let the child know what is good and what is bad. You don't just raise the child and and there's hand or two, sign or pen. My radio car, my radio car in your own child.
I've heard it a lot of times in UK especially.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we end up We end up raising children who are stabbing others. We end up raising children who are drug addicts. We end up raising children who we might, after we've successfully made businesses, handed over to them, and they will destroy everything we've made because we did not train them. So, as a matter of fact, we can refocus our attention on our children by introducing them to social media ourselves. Let's find time to speak to them. They must be talked to. If they are engaging in something that we think is not right, it means they don't know that it's not right. Even when they know that it's not right, assume that they don't know that it is not right and talk to them. If we do that, we will gradually be fixing something. You know, when I did the cons at the remedial classes, what the teacher was telling me, I said, the way the madam would do, but he was teaching me in class.
Yes.
So it's not as if the women in the market do not know how to trade, how to save. But learning economics gives you it gives you a conscious knowledge of how you are to put things in place. So we can go to social media, introduce our children to social media, but let's tell them what is going on.
Yes.
I have a child I adopted in K school now. So when he was going, I just called him and I asked him, hey, he's a boy. Do you know anything about homosexuality? Yes. Do you know who are called gays? No. And I took time to explain those things to them. And how a brother of mine was, when he was in SS, I think a mate of mine I knew was practicing such a thing, was buying things for him. So he came to me, this guy was Shemu Chrome, or then I inquired further, and I knew that yes, Aquari. So he, to the extent that he came to visit him in the house, and he saw me.
Wow.
The face I gave, the face I gave him, he never came back again. So all these things we must teach our children, let them know this is what it is. This is how they lure you into that. They have sites on social media. There was this guy who has been practicing masturbation, okay, and he's in secondary school, and he was joining these platforms as we have platforms, and on this platform somebody posted a site that led to a pornography site. So he started practicing masturbation to the extent that until we found him and begin to talk to him, he was paying some $5 or $10.
Waste of money.
An equivalent of Ghana cedis. So Ghana cedis, then he converts it into dollars and pay to the site so that he can watch live pornography. An SS student paying dollars to watch. But he started from one stage and he graduated to that stage. And it was draining him because his school fees sometimes had to be converted to pay, or his pocket money to be paid to that site so that he can get those things to watch. And it's all about this social media. So I think that we cannot control, because we don't sleep with our children. Like, I mean, we don't go to school with them. We don't, and the children will let you see what they want you to see. So the best thing we can do is inculcate some knowledge, fear of God, some discipline in them. Because even when I was a bad boy in SS and SS, at home, my father used to conduct Bible devotion with us. So anytime we embark on, I think we go to Plaza, and most of my friends were going for the prostitutes. But you know, I was having this fear in me that is not good. So they'll do it, but I will refrain. I wouldn't. See, and that thing guided me that I didn't go to the extremes. You see me there, but I'll hardly engage in the act.
Yeah.
You see, so I came to understand when I grew up that as children, the child might seem not to hear what you are telling her, but words are immortal.
Mm.
Speak to him about what you know on social media. Sometimes use your life as an example and talk to him. When he goes to social, when he has his phone, talk to him. Don't go to the site. Don't go here. If you go here, tell them the repercussions. They might go. Don't worry about it. Just pray for them. They will come back because
Yeah.
your word is sounding and it will bring them back. So
Yeah.
don't let us downplay our words. Let's communicate to them. Let's pray for them. Let's speak the word of God to them and let's tell them our life experiences. It will guide them.
Yeah.
I know that in this complex or sophisticated world where people are branding their gender in, it is very confusing and they are trying to make us understand. Okay. So we must let our children know the simplicity of life, simplicity
Yeah.
of gender, simplicity of everything that God made. And it will lead them wherever they go. And social media will not have any impact on their life or any negative impact on that if we consciously engage them by not also getting addicted negatively to social media. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is so unbelievable. Do you want to say something,
I
Mami?
just wanted to add, I think and I'm using myself as an example when it comes to children. There's no set time for a parent to get close to your child. You don't have to wait till your children are teenagers to get to know them or to get closer to them. We always feel that, oh, we Africans or Ghanaians in general, like that's where I am from, and that's where the three of us are from. So where do you swap on sir mentality? Oh, where do you swap on TSA? Oh, this
Mm-hmm.
meaning that, oh, this one is very young, he will not even understand. My 3-year-old understands what, don't let anybody touch your pee. She understands that. She understands, don't let anybody touch your bum bum. She understands that. And she's only 3 years old. My son is 3 years old, they're 6 years old. They both
Mm-hmm.
understand that. They know
Mm-hmm.
that when they come from school, mommy will sit down with them, even when I'm not home from work. As soon as I come home from work, I'll sit down with my son and ask him, so how did the day go? There's no set time for you as a parent to take time to talk to your children. And we can start small, inquire about how their day went, and do that without being judgmental.
Yeah.
Understand? I think sometimes because of our upbringing, we can tend to be a bit harsh on our children. Being harsh does not give results. It's coming down to their level and understanding them. Do you understand? And I'm very glad Reverend said what he said as to words are has power.
Yes,
Words.
and it sticks with
Words.
you.
And it
Yes.
sticks with you. I always say that the upbringing I had when I was a child, it was almost like I was not even listening to what my parents were saying. I mean, um, I grew up not having friends come to my house. So when I went to secondary school, it was more or less like freedom. Charlie, I mean, secondary school, your parents are not there because I didn't have that when I was at home. My mom will not even allow you to talk to your next door neighbor. She will not even let
Mm-hmm.
you play with the next door neighbor. So when I went to secondary school, it was like, hey, freedom. But through prayers and talking to me, no matter how they did it. When I relocated from Ghana and came to live in the UK, when I came, I was very young. I was very young. And I look back and I'm like, how did I survive in this country? Because when I came here, I didn't have my parents here, no uncle, no auntie, no sibling. I came on my own, you know.
Yeah.
And I thank God that because of the words they spoke into my life, because of the seed they sowed into my life. The Bible has power. praying. My mom told me one day that anytime I pick up my bag and I'm going out with my friends, all she has to do is pray for me, because we are going out. You are going to meet your friends. We had finished secondary school. Life was so big. We wanted to experience it. I'm sure we all went through it. You know, you move from tech. By the time you realize you are bantama with your friends, you know, all of that. So all she could do was pray for us. And I thank God that that words that was spoken, you know, that seed that was sown into my life, that's what has kept me throughout my life, when I relocated from Ghana to the UK. And I look back and I'm like, you know what? I think God has done very well, you know, and that is what we need to impact into our children. There's no set time to get closer to your children. There's no set time for you to be friends with your children. You have to start now. It does not mean you don't discipline them. It means that you still discipline them when they do wrong, but you bring them to you. You bring them closer to you. You know, you discipline them and then you bring them closer to you, so that there's a balance. You know, so for me, these are when we do these things, I think that it would help in reducing the impact of social media in our homes, in our family. Let's not forget, with our spouses, there are a lot of marriage breakdowns because of you know, and I think we are going to talk about that. I don't want to jump the gun, so I'll leave it to you.
Well, I wish we can go on and on and on tonight. We might have to come with a part 2 of this topic because, well, the topic is so wide. You know, we can keep on talking and talking and talking, and I'm sure my team will definitely come back and then continue this topic with me because our 1 hour is gone already. And
Wow.
I will just read the last comments from here. And this topic, we are definitely going to revisit it. If not next week, the next time when my guests are available, we will visit it. So, yeah, Mami Pianipa says, nice one. Then, yeah, Rush says, child monitoring in this age is full-time job. Like Rev said, a respect intrusion into their privacy is allowed. Ama Moako says we are busy chasing money and social media is educating our kids. Then Ceci says, great program. Yarash says, Osofo is opening keys, so cool down. Then Ama says, very true that discipline at home always play on your conscience when you are met with situations. Then Amamwakwa also says, very true. And Allison says, hello to everybody who was able to watch us tonight. Our time is fast spent already. We would like you to prepare your questions and your contributions to come and add to this great topic the next time we are live. We are definitely going to get our poster out there and let you know when we are next live to continue with this great topic. I will give my guests just a few minutes each, maybe a minute each, for them to give us their final words, and then we can log out and come back next time. So over to you, ladies first then.
Oh, I thought Reverend would start.
Okay, Reverend, please. We've got just a minute. A minute each, please.
Ladies first. Okay. I am a friend.
Reverend, you're opening keys. You're opening keys.
It's just a minute each.
I am closing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was a nice program. So I anticipate next time we're going to do more and enlighten other people and ourselves too. Because as I'm talking to myself as well. We should be responsible parents and couples. Let's drop some time of social media and have time for the family. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Rev. Mary Boatima, your final words, please. Keep it short.
Very short. I would through this, I've actually come to learn a lot. And we are not just discussing it, we are also learning as well. And
Of course.
um,
Yes.
all I would say is that the family is paramount.
Mm-hmm.
And when Jesus comes, he's going to ask us, as I know, as a reverend, you are the shepherd of your church. But as I always say,
Yes.
and my dad always says, the church begins from your home. So if
Yeah.
you fail in your home, you have failed the Lord. So for me,
Yeah.
it's very important that I don't fail in my home. It's very, very important. And it's hand to it's the two of us working. My husband